So welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and I'm a gorilla in the wrist. Today we're looking at my first Militado, this ML05, which seems to be getting quite a lot of love on YouTube, and asking the question, why? Let's get into it. So today we're looking at this Militado field watch. Arrived in a fairly decent box. It's okay for the money. It came on this NATO strap, which I like the look of, but unfortunately the tang and the buckle is a bit, well, flimsy. It reminds me of a tab off a Diet Coke can. Unfortunately, it is a bit naff. So I very quickly threw this one onto a Vario Cordura single pass NATO strap. What we have here is a fairly simple 38mm field watch. Very clearly this is an homage to the Khaki field hand wind actually, and I'll stick an image of the two so that you can see the side by side, but very, very clearly homaging that watch. As I say, we've got 38mm dial. Lug width is 20, so if you don't like the strap that it came on, which I didn't, I'm sure you've all got plenty of straps that you can sling it on. The lug to lug is 48mm, so it wears really well. It wears not like a small field watch. And I do like the little details. I do like that they've got drilled lugs. Just a nice little touch. And also this has a VH31 movement in it, and therefore you've got a very thin, even underneath the single pass NATO strap, it's only 12mm thick. It's probably closer to 10 if you do it directly, if you ignore the strap. And also has a very nice top hat domed sapphire crystal. And I picked this one up for the princely sum of £35.99, so less than £36. In terms of the dial, what we have, so everything on the dial is painted on. There are no applied indices at all. I don't think that's necessarily a problem with a field watch. We have a minute track all the way around the outside. We have those nice retro style triangles at the 5-minute intervals. We then have Roman numerals all the way around from 1 to 12. And then there's an inner circle of smaller Roman numerals going from 13 to 24. There's no branding on it at all. It does right at the very bottom say Japan movement. And we have fence post, fairly basic fence post hands. They are loomed. And we also have a second pointer going all the way out to the minute track, the tip of which is also loomed. And it does have that sort of lollipop counterbalance. No date on this one. This is a no date watch. The finishing itself, it's this very nice sort of greyish bead blasted look, very similar to my Seiko SNK 805. Has that kind of bead blasted finish to it, and it's competently done all the way around. I don't think I have any problems with the finishing at all. The crown itself, decent size, decent width, and grippy. Definitely very grippy. No trouble with that at all. It has a screw down case, and the back, which you can't see, is also screw down. So you have 100 meters of water resistance on this. Again, that's entirely appropriate for a field watch. Let's get into the detailed specifications. So we're going to run very quickly through the detailed specifications for this watch. So we have a very reasonable dial width of 38mm, has a 47mm lug to lug, so it doesn't wear like a small watch, has standard 20mm lug width, a thickness of 11mm, and houses a very accurate VH31 movement, weighs in at about 90 grams. We have 100 meters of water resistance and a very nice top hat domed sapphire crystal. So let's talk about the things that I don't like about this watch. First up, the strap that it came on. I was really disappointed because when I picked it up, when I looked at it, I thought, that's a really nice looking strap. And in these, I like the colour combinations are really good. All of the hardware has got that same bead blasted finish to it. But that tang on there is just terrible. For the money, it's probably okay. I just like something a little bit better. So that was the first of my gripes. The second one is on the watch itself, and it's just that lack of AR coating. Hello! It is very, very reflective, and could really, really have done with some AR coating on there just to take some of that off, because it is fairly visible. You'll see it on the loom shot, you will have seen it. So yeah, I think desperately needed a coat of anti-reflective on there. And the final one, again, the loom. I feel a bit harsh saying this on a £36 watch. The loom is okay-ish, but no better than that. But to be honest, that's about it. That's all I could find in terms of shortfalls for this watch. So let's talk about the things that I like about it. And we've probably got more to talk about on that front. The first is, even allowing for the problems with the lack of anti-reflective coating, this is a really visible watch. You can tell the time from all angles, however it is, if you can ignore the reflections. It's just a really good design look. Now, I know we can't give Militado any credit for that because this was designed by Hamilton, and this is an homage to that. But it is, if you are looking for a watch that you can just slap on your wrist, this is probably good for that, and the visibility is good. The second thing, just really impressed that they managed to get a domed top hat sapphire crystal on a £36 watch. How the hell do you do that? No idea. I've tried buying domed crystals before for replacing on other watches that I've got, and I've always looked and found them to be sort of 15, 20 quid. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places. But to have that on a 36 quid watch, I think is absolutely fantastic. The third thing is that I got this watch a week and a half ago. I started wearing it a week ago. I set the time. I have a radio-controlled clock in this room. And so I set the time exactly to the radio-controlled clock. And a week later, it hasn't lost a single second. It is telling the exact same time as my radio-controlled clock. The next thing I like is just the little touches. So the crown, for example, is really good. Really easy to grip. Well finished. It's not branded, but very easy to use. And I mentioned it earlier, drilled lugs. Incredibly useful. Makes getting the strap off, and putting a decent... I had to take the spring bars out for this one because the Cordura strap has these metal studs. It's a Vario Cordura strap, by the way. I'll stick a link to it in the video. I had to take the spring bars off, but doing it's a doddle when you've got drilled lugs. So I think that's a particularly nice touch. And then the final one is really just the price. I mean, 36 quid. This is a perfectly decent watch. Does exactly what it says on the tin. The watch it's homaging, that's certainly the hand-wind version. You're talking of 450 quid upwards. Now, this isn't a hand-wind. This is clearly a Quartz watch. But I just think it offers a really, really good value for what it does. It's not perfect, but for 36 quid, I think it's about as close to perfect as you get for 36 quid. So let's try and bring this one to a conclusion. So this is my first Militado watch, and so tends to set the tone for my view going forward of the brand. So another example of that is Bolton. The first one I absolutely loved, and kind of set your expectation going forward, really. So at the start of the video, I asked the question, what's all the fuss? Why is this thing getting so much love? And I think the answer, having lived with it for a week, so I've worn it every day, I've enjoyed wearing it, and I think it gets the love because I think for not very much money, you're getting quite a lot of watch. Now, Militado is a new brand to me, but I look at this and think, if you can do this at this sort of price, you're doing something right. You really are. It's got some nice touches. I mean, there's no originality in it because it's clearly a very close homage to the OG watch. but it does everything you need it to do. And I think, as I said in the likes, is that I think a couple of coats of AR and this would have been a perfect field watch at that price. Now, clearly, I've only had this for a week, so I can't comment on what the longer term longevity is going to be. But I'm impressed with what I see. So I suspect it won't be long until I'm getting another Militado in. But no, it's a thumbs up from me. Definitely a thumbs up from me. I look forward to having more on the channel. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe and comment. Always happy to have views. What do you think? What would you like me to be reviewing in the future? Saturday afternoon in the UK. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I wish you a fantastic weekend as well. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.